While fans are streaming into Indianapolis tonight, getting ready for other 500 events, many are gathering near the focal point of the weekend, the Motor Speedway. Kevin Rader is there with some fans right now. Kevin?
Well, Susan, as you can imagine, it is still very, very lively here in Georgetown, right by the track. I'm sitting here with Bobby Scares, who made the trip all the way from Dallas, Texas, along with his wife Connie and also Father Reed. This is the third trip down here, and we're going to give you a glimpse of what they are seeing. We're watching a little bit, by the way, of the time trials action here on the VCR late tonight. We want to give you a glimpse of what they are seeing tonight.
That's still not right. We got to use all the pieces.
Setting up shop for the 500 can be challenging, if not downright frustrating at times.
All we need is directions. Somebody to help.
Looking around, you realize he's not alone.
Is that good enough, folks?
If your dog were here, he'd be barking too. The 500, it'll drive you to therapy.
And the earliest person here has been here in 1949.
That explains this spread. It's hard to believe with meals like this, you can still call it camping.
Flounder with stuffed flounder with crab meat, hot dogs, hamburgers, potato salad, pasta salad, and if we don't have it, just ask, we'll go get it.
But that's the kind of attitude that keeps Perry Hood coming back year after year.
It's quite an event. My kids, I've got some daughters now that's been coming 10 years already. So I've been over 30 years now.
And you may have to go back that far to top this.
On my right hand, I've got the front row, Roberto Guerrero, Eddie Cheever, and Mario Andretti. On the left hand is the second row. We've got Ari Lyondike, Gary Bentonhausen, and Michael Andretti.
Back live again. That's one of those things, but believe it or not, but that is real. Bobby Scares again from Dallas, Texas. This is the third time you've made the trip. You had, two blowouts coming down here. Is it worth it?
Oh, yeah. Anything to see my boy A.J. win. He's got to win this.
All right. They'll be sitting up watching tomorrow night. The RVs are still pulling in. Back to you, Susan.
Kevin, Bobby there sounds like a diehard fan. Let me ask you this. For the mini marathon this morning, we had people from 41 states and 3 different foreign countries. Have you been able to ascertain how far people are coming from besides Dallas, Texas, out there?
Well, you're right, Susan. You do see them from all over the place. We ran into some Canadians earlier, and, of course, we interviewed some Boston, some guys that made the trip from Boston. I think you could walk down any RV here and probably pick out a different license plate.
All right. Kevin Rader live at the Speedway tonight. Have fun, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
Tom.
I still can't get over those fingernails. Bob Gregory, will those fingernails get rained on over the weekend?
I don't
That's
know
what everybody wants to know.
Is that water-soluble stuff there or
not
not?
a trace
Boy, oh boy.
of the rowdy fans at the track tonight now that this race is over.
But they did leave behind tons of proof that they were here this year, and every year there are tons of trash to clean up all around the Speedway. Beer can collectors could snap up a lot of treasures. Just about every inch of ground at the Speedway is covered with garbage of all kinds, some of it bizarre, some of it inventive, like this discarded shopping cart used as a makeshift grill for barbecuing earlier. But inventive or not, it's a mess out here, and it'll be a chore for cleanup crews. Will be spending days returning it to normal.
Well, that mess at the track, not as bad as in years past. And these arrest numbers you see on your screen, not as bad either. Police busted fewer than 300 rowdy fans, actually, mostly for drinking, and that's down from the usual 500 or so who get a ride in the back of a squad car.
But that Memorial Day court appearance is still on tomorrow, holiday or not. Greg Todd joins us live tonight from the City-County building, where many of the rowdies are being held in the county lockup. Greg?
Yeah, Dion, Clyde, you won't see this place listed in the Chamber of Commerce's guide of places to stay while visiting Indianapolis, but nevertheless, a lot of out-of-town visitors are spending an extra and unexpected night here at the city lockup. It's a scene we see repeated year after year, some years worse than others. This was actually one of the better years. A little over 300 people arrested in and around the track this weekend as compared with about 500 last year. 16th Street slowly returns to normal. The crowds are gone, the vendors are cleaning up and closing up for another year. A few people still mill around in the aftermath of auto racing's greatest spectacle and law enforcement's biggest headache. But it was a very different picture here last night. As always, it was a sight to behold, and the arrests mounted. But suddenly, as the thermometer dropped, so did the revelry.
Less antagonistic this year. The weather may have had something to do with that.
They seem more interested in watching the bungee jumpers and then giving the police a hard time this year. Seems the bungee jumping provided an energy release for the totally tanked and daredevil types. But still, several hundred people were selected for special recognition of their antics, mostly for disorderly conduct, indecency, or public intoxication.
I was arrested. I was standing at a bridge watching a bungee cord jumps. I wasn't drinking. I wasn't doing a thing.
I got arrested for PI, and I have a medical allergy that I can't drink.
I guess they didn't like what I said. They kicked me in the chest.
We were arrested for obstructing traffic.
What were you doing?
Walking down the road.
We have a little over 300 arrests in the last 24 hours from the track.
A lot of them say they're innocent.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. Every year it's the same thing. They come to party, and this is the price they pay.
But it wasn't as bad as some years. Actually, the cold snap was a blessing in disguise for the police. Many replaced cold beer with hot coffee, and the tradition to shed a little too much clothing was greatly reduced. Of course, there are exceptions, and many of them are spending the night here at the county lockup. With a live report from police headquarters, Greg Todd, 6 News.
So many innocent people in there tonight.
There were a lot, weren't there?
You told their stories well, Greg. Well, you've just seen how police have their hands full when the race is over.
Now we're going to take you out to the streets where police found the people breaking the law.
Photographer Ralph Grant followed a police officer on patrol last night in Speedway when race fans were out in full force.
How you guys doing?
I'm wondering.
Where you from?
Tell me where to park this speed.
Where you guys from?
I'm not here.
Well, I can't really tell you where to park. Just kind of follow the flow and try to find a spot. About all I can tell you, okay? Trying to just stay out of traffic, trying to stay out of everybody's way and let everybody have a good time. As long as we stay out of the way, you know, there's no problems. The only time we have to get involved is if somebody calls and we got to take action on something, but it's not real likely. We just kind of drive around and watch things happen. The later it gets, the more problems we have. Come here. You in the pink hat, come here. Hey, come here. This is your first warning, okay? You're standing in the middle of the street screwing with people in cars, sticking your heads in cars. It's the first warning. Next time you go to jail. Got it? Understand? Understand? Yeah, you guys go to your vehicles and go have fun at your vehicles. You're standing out here in the street, stop traffic again, you go to jail.
I've been in the street once.
Don't lie to me, bud. I just stand there and watched you.
We're out one day. Can we get across the street here?
If you're going to cross the street, cross the street, but don't stand out and start stopping cars.
That's the problem.
You can see just about anything you want to out here. It gets kind of interesting at times. Other than that, for the month, really, it's been kind of slow. Get out of the camera. We're a little worried about tonight, but since it rained for about an hour, it kind of slowed people up a whole lot, so that's what we're kind of afraid of. That since it slowed them up just a little bit, some people might want to come back out. It's going to get rowdy later as it goes, but if it gets cooler tonight, maybe that'll keep a lot of people in, too. With you, he won't get out till Tuesday. He's in jail for the duration of the whole weekend. He misses the race, he don't get out of jail till Tuesday. When he goes Tuesday, he'll go in front of the judge.
No matter what?
No matter what.
I mean,
when you're locked up on race weekend, you stay in jail till Tuesday.
Are we all having fun yet?
Great time, bud.
Officer Stephen Weiland from the Speedway Police Department on duty, on the beat.
2 different races to watch, the car race and the human race
Both
today.
of them spectacles.
Yes.
Sure.